Hello and good evening for Thursday, August 15th, 2024. Week 4 in the Big Brother 26 house is over, but we're just getting started here on Super Mater Brothers podcasting, our live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. I'm Dave Mater, joined with my brother Jeff Mater. Jeff, this was a lot tonight. We're going to talk all about it. Big Brother 26, I'd say not a bad season here as spoilers if you don't want to know. Hope you're all caught up. Cedric gets voted out here in a very sad and dramatic moment.
Hi, Joseph.
Hey, Julie.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I'm really sorry, but I vote to evict Cedric.
I'm so sorry, Jeff.
Sorry. It's like putting down my dog.
I can't believe Cedric's gone. It's all love. It's all love. Don't worry.
It's all love. It's all love.
It's all love. Yeah, this was quite the week in the house, Jeff. After this, we got rid of Kenny last week. We were kind of like, oh well, Kenny's finally gone. I guess there's something. Now we're gonna see how this plays out. And turns out not bad. As we see, Tucker was sort of the target all week, takes himself off the block, flirts with not using the veto on himself, ultimately does use the veto on himself. Then Mackenzie pulls herself off here in this in a really exciting AI competition in tonight's episode, where it looked like Rabina was going to win and pull herself off, but ultimately it was Mackenzie who does it, and then
we might have gotten a different result had that happened.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, I think they would have voted Mackenzie out if Mackenzie had been vulnerable.
That's what I mean. We would have got a different result, and it was much better that this happened the way. Good for my girl Mackenzie. Way to go! Way to win this.
If Rabina had won and it had been Mackenzie against Cedric, yes, I think Mackenzie goes probably. But
it would have been it would have been close. It would have been,
maybe not, because maybe it's the same vote. Maybe they were prepared to vote out Cedric either way.
They might have been. I don't know the answer to that, but
if I had this plan to backdoor, well, it's not really a backdoor, but to backstab Cedric, I think I would go about it in this way. Either way, if Cedric takes himself down, then it's whatever. Then you do something else between Mackenzie and Rabina.
It was so sweet tonight, Dave, to watch Brooklyn and Quinn's face when Cedric got evicted. It was especially Brooklyn.
Well, I had that as a quick overlay here.
It was
this was chef's kiss was right the cherry on top of the sundae. So good here with Brooklyn, who was just like, I thought like she was in control here. Turns out not at all.
She thought she was in control.
I know, she had me convinced.
Really?
I guess I think maybe I'm not. I wouldn't be such a good Big Brother player if I was going along with what Brooklyn thought was going on in the house. Clearly, you need to be watching what Takor and Chemo were up to.
No, well, Brooklyn should be worried more about what Quinn is doing in this house, because he is the one that made that happen unintentionally. Really, when he's playing too all over the place, and he's gonna eventually get evicted because Quinn, because what he's doing is he's basically not staying loyal to anybody, and eventually people are going to cross notes and they're going to want to get him out.
He says he's loyal to Chemo and to Takor.
Yeah, and then but what does he do? He goes, "Oh yes, by the way, Chemo and Takor, I'm in another alliance without you. I'm just telling you now, just so you know, so I can he's basically telling them, you're not that important. I think you're important, but how can they trust that? You just now are telling them about this alliance. Everything about the way he went about it in his head, he's probably like, yeah, they're going to trust me more now because I'm telling them, and I really do trust them. But that's not the way it works. You need to tell them right away if you actually trust them. Do you know what I mean? Because then they're going to be like, oh, okay, then yeah, no, I do trust Quinn. But no, you tell them after a fact, 2 weeks later, no, that's the wonder Takor Chemo turned on it.
Well, because was Quinn in on this vote?
He might have knew about it,
because I don't think Takor. Okay, so we saw in this episode, it was explained here that in Quinn's mind, he's loyal to this trio of Chemo and Takor. So he tells them about the Pentagon Alliance, and their reaction in the diary room is very clearly, well, this doesn't make me necessarily trust Quinn more. it makes me actually more upset that I'm not in this stronger alliance. That
Yes.
I'm out of the know, and they resent Quinn more for it than anything. And so, and based on what I was seeing after when they were eavesdropping in on the house guests here at the end,
Right.
it seemed like Quinn was like, kind of with the Brooklyn camp, kind of shocked that this had happened. Whether he
Right.
did it, we'll see. We'll find out if like he knew about this or not.
Well, even if say he did, like him acting shocked to them again comes across like he comes across super disingenuous. Like there's no loyalty. Like it was actually kind of like I felt like Quinn should have been the person going out tonight and not Cedric. I kind of felt bad for Cedric because he just kind of picked like the wrong alliance in a way, even though it's felt right. Like everything he did was by the book correct.
Well,
You know,
he didn't factor Tucker into his game.
no,
He thought he could get Tucker to be like, no, man, that's not good for my game. Don't do what that's too rash a move. Tucker's like, no, I'm going to force your hand.
Yeah.
And then Cedric didn't do it. And then all of a sudden he's in this feud with Tucker. And I don't, not that should necessarily bother him, but it ultimately kind of leads to a series of events where he gets voted out tonight,
Well, yeah. And like, okay. And you were in the house with Tucker for like whatever 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. You kind of should kind of get his vibe, okay, and not saying like, oh, you can let him walk all over you or force your hand or whatever. And like, in a lot of ways, you could say what Cedric did was right. Like he probably shouldn't have gone after Quinn last week or whatever because he wouldn't have had the votes, and that the vote proved that. And everything he did by the book was correct, but he didn't handle the personality of Tucker properly. Right. In his conversations with him. He was thinking too much, in my opinion, about his Pentagon. And,
right. And he thought Tucker, he underestimated Tucker.
Yes.
Right. And it leads to this other things. He volunteers to go up on the block so he can compete against Tucker in the veto and or this AI competition. He loses to Tucker, in last night's episode in dramatic fashion, and so Tucker wins this here. Considers not even using it on himself, like he had done previously, and used it on Angela. He was thinking about he knew Rubina would go up, and the kind of the logical thing here. Daryl messaged me today, said, "Dave, do you think that Rubina is going to go tonight?" I go, "I don't know. I think it could be Cedric because he's a tempting target."
Yeah, that's what this cast has been doing almost every vote except last week when Quinn was on the block.
Right. They left Quinn alone on the block, which, so I can understand kind of maybe why Brooklyn and some of those people were, a little shocked that they weren't in control of this one like they had been in the previous one and were able to keep Quinn safe. But, Kenny was such like a thing they just had to deal with Kenny, before they
couldn't
could
take
even
it anymore. They couldn't take.
Yes, we could vote out Quinn, but like then Kenny was here for another week. Like we can't do it. So
I get it. I understand. Like I would not want to listen to. All right, I'm ready to go. I miss my family. Okay, I'm gonna win this competition. Oh, my daughter. It's like I could not take it.
My stipend. I can't quit. Right? Like I think that it just had to happen last week. I was like, okay, now we're gonna see the game play out. And quite frankly, this week was quite exciting. I don't know if you caught the recap episode, the bonus recap episode on Tuesday.
Did watch it. Unfortunately, it was terrible.
Yeah. I didn't really watch it all. Jane watched it, but Cody and Jag and
Taylor.
Terrible.
Yeah. Not needed. Why are we doing a recap after 3 weeks or so, whatever it's been? And what is this? Why is this needed? Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. Nobody needed it.
I can maybe at the meeting they were like, "Hey, like the Olympics have been on for 2 weeks. Like people haven't been watching enough Big Brother. We need to recap this. We'll bring back like the 3 previous winners."
You know what? There might be something to that.
I feel like that's what the pitch was in the meeting. It was like that makes sense. Whoever said that, and
I still disagree with that because
and this is the result.
Nobody was like, I watched the Olympics on NBC for 3 weeks. Okay, all right, now what's going on in Big Brother? Like nobody did. Like how many people are doing that? Like, oh wait, Cody and Jag and Taylor are going to explain.
I know them. They won their season.
Yeah, they won their seasons. Okay, yeah.
They were fans' favorite. They were America's favorites. They were not instigators, or I don't know. Maybe they would have been.
So who do you think America is going to choose as the BP instigator?
like they're not going to pick somebody they don't know. Like
My
you know,
first
on the
thought was Tucker. Like Tucker's got it.
I think Tucker is a very high possibility. I think that even whoever was like Mackenzie, I think has got to be a possibility.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Quinn?
Rubina.
Do you think Quinn would get it?
Quinn's a possibility too. I think Quinn's
Yeah.
a potential. Like, I think that he's on the show a lot, but you're not going to see like someone like Cam get it.
No. Or or
How about-
maybe even Joseph.
We're not even Joseph. How about Cam? This shout out.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib.
Shout out to all my dogs at the crib.
His dogs at his crib.
Fair. I don't know. I don't know much about Cam yet, but I was like, oh, there's something about Cam. He's got the dogs at the crib. He shout outs to them.
Are those his dogs or his friends?
His friends, I think.
His friends. Okay.
Yeah. But he calls them the dogs. But that's beside the point. It's not going to be Joseph. I don't think. I don't think it's going to be someone. Even Leah. I don't know if she's on the show enough yet to really get the votes for this. Even though I kind of like Leah.
Yeah.
On the
She's
season.
kind of lazing around. Like we had that segment tonight where it's like, yeah, I don't really feel like working out or doing it.
I don't really feel like doing anything. I'm not really active. But who else was in the non-active club?
Joseph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, won't you do something? He's like, no, I just won't. I think I would like Joseph in real life. He's kind of got that dry sense of humor. But on the show, he's kind of boring. And then him crying tonight with this vote with Julie. Something else. Like overall, I think the cast is pretty good. I think it's one of the better casts they've done in many years overall. I think that it's working. I think they got the strategy. I think that they burned too much time tonight on this strategy, like that they always wanted to see play out after the AI competition. And Julie was like, "Now tonight, everybody, you will be using your time to strategize after you find out what's happened."
I don't think there should be any strategy. What they're doing is they're trying to make it like a double eviction every week, like that. That
same drama.
That same drama, but. I think it would be way better is if they come down the stairs, you say who won, you go right on the couch, boom, right into just go right into the room, start voting.
Here's how you'd play it. It's an audible on the line of scrimmage. You just say, okay, like if people want to strategize and there's a real like drama and there's a scramble, when they come down, then as the producers, they say, okay, we'll give them a little bit of a grace if they need a few minutes to talk or there's a little bit of drama. If there's not, then you just go to the vote, you go to the speeches, you do the vote, and then you just do a longer interview with the evictee at the end, right? If not, if you need that time for the drama, the strategizing, then you shorten that interview with the to a point, but you have to cut it off somewhere.
It's honestly useless what's going on when they're just, you get two people just pleading and going, oh, please don't vote me out, like it's just like. They don't just stop it. They have all week.
Stop what?
They have all this scrambling. Survivor does it too. Stop. Just make them vote. Make it go right into it. What contestants going, I really wish I had that 30 seconds to talk. Do you think if Chemo doesn't pull T-Core aside, now they're gonna vote different?
Based on what I saw in tonight, we saw Brooklyn talking to Rubina, there was a lot of side conversations. It looked like Cedric kind of knew. He had a good feeling that he was going to get voted. But obviously Brooklyn didn't, and Cam didn't, and a few of the others, in his alliance, seem to be, aware of what was happening here.
Yeah, it was great.
They got blindsided, but not Cedric himself, which was kind of, so I think
he didn't know for sure,
but he had a feeling.
He was pretty sure.
He saw the crying. He knew that they were going to cry. They were crying for Cedric.
I knew it was official when they came back from commercial and Chemo was crying in the DR where he was looking really sad. I'm like, he's not crying over Rubina. So,
why is anyone crying over Cedric? He's a nice guy and everything, but he's, what's the problem here?
I don't know.
He's
T-Core had no problem. I loved it. I was like,
yeah,
I was like, good for you, because a a lot of people probably would make her feel bad for voting Cedric out, and I don't think she should have to feel bad because it's not about like where you come from or in the house. It's all about what alliance you're in, and she wasn't in the Pentagon, and she was never going to be with those 5 people, and they were always going to like put them aside. You kind of knew that,
from Chemo and Decor's point of view, like this move made a lot of sense. They only needed the 5 votes. They knew they could get Mackenzie once she was out. She was safe. Right, that's 3. Who else? Oh, yeah, they knew they had Tucker.
Leah
was the other one they thought.
The one they didn't expect to get and got was Joseph.
Right, so that just made it.
It should have been 5-4.
5-4.
With Joseph voting with the other guys, but Joseph, I think
now that Joseph's done this, like I think, and that's kind of what I think you heard with Takor and Chemo at the end. Were like, well, like they might be mad at us, but now they're kind of screwed, and they're going to have to scramble.
They're scrambling,
because now Joseph has shown his hand, right? So now he almost has to side with Chemo and Takor, and so therefore Brooklyn and Cam and the minority voters are a little bit of a disadvantage at the moment.
He's playing the middle, like the players playing the middle right now are Chemo, Takor, and Joseph. And the other sides of the house, there's kind of 4 against 4. There's like Rabina, Tucker, Angela, and who's the other player? Leah and Mackenzie. Like that's one side of the house. Right. The other side of the house is like Cam, Quinn, Brooklyn, and what's her name? Candace, or what's her name? Sorry. Chelsea. That's the other 4. So it's 4 against 4, and then there's 4 in the middle. That's kind of the way it's working right now. So the 4 in the middle are in the best spot because the other 4 are going to pick each other off.
Joseph's in the middle?
I would say so. I think Joseph's with Takor, Chemo, and then those are kind
Quinn
of
not in the middle too?
Well, Quinn's all over. He's all over the place, but he's more like he's more against like Tucker, right? Him and Tucker are never going to be working together.
But we see Tucker working with Chemo.
Yeah, Tucker doesn't like Tucker
works with
needs numbers. Tucker needed numbers this week, and he got them. I was pretty impressed.
What about that moment in the episode where Angela's like, "I want to be with you"?
It was so sad. It was. I want to be. Can I be a part of this?
Can I just be part of the cool kids?
And
Tucker's like, just somebody say something, but nobody says anything.
Yeah.
And even like Tucker in the diary room saying like, come on, she's a number. Right, for us,
she's won 2 big competitions.
She's won 2 competitions. She has. If you're playing the game, you have to at least look at sort of the the strategic merits of that, right? And whether you like her or not. But it depends how much you think you can trust her.
Well, and don't piss her off. She's the type of player. Don't piss her off.
Right.
Like,
so do you want to work with somebody like that in an alliance? Like,
I don't want to work against her though. Like, that's the way I would look at her. I would just keep her close. Make her my friend, make her think I'm on her team, and then that's it. She even said, like, I'll be on the bottom. Perfect.
There, sounds good. Well, hey, Angela, since you're on the bottom, we need somebody to be a pawn this week, okay? It's just kind of what you do when you're on the bottom of the alliance. It's how it goes.
And you also don't get to tell me what I get to do on my HOH and all that kind of stuff. She won't wield that same power. Right. So, but she's a number that will vote with me. Yeah, I'll take that every day.
Yeah, like I think that she apparently the casual audience is coming around on her. They're like, well, maybe she's not the worst person ever.
I don't think she's the worst person ever. I thought what she did with the bat was kind of uncalled for. Yeah,
I think it was over the top, too much.
Yeah, it was over the top.
Excessive.
And then the other, but you know what the one thing with Angela is, like, she's like, all right, the one thing, she's pretty, like, she's almost too genuine, but then at the same time she does stuff where I'm like, why are you like bullying somebody 1 minute and then crying the next minute? It's like, that's the part that bugged me about Angela more than anything. I'm like, oh, stop. But
now
you
can have it both ways.
But she's starting to kind of turn, like, she's starting to like realize where she sits in the house, and she's like more of like, I'm seeing her be more of like a observer and less of like an active participant in everything. And I think that's what she needs to do. She needs to stop actively doing everything in the house. It's hurting her,
Well, she tries too hard and she's eager to please, and but on the other hand, she's kind of her own worst enemy, and she's kind of all over the place. But I don't know. Like, I think if Tucker can use her as a number, and I think if you're in an alliance with Tucker, I'd say like you deal with her mostly. Oh, how's that sound? And she can be a number first. Sounds good. As long as you can sort of wield her vote, and it's not necessarily about her. Sounds good. There's no reason to make it anything less, more or less than that. And are you sad to lose Cedric in the season at this point in the season?
No, not really. Like I thought I didn't like this Pentagon Alliance. I thought they were boring. And they needed to be shaken up. And
Right.
so I kind of sad that he's the one that goes out of the Pentagon Alliance. I'd much rather it had been Quinn or Cam, because I feel like both of those players are kind of like, well, Quinn's very on the show, Cam's not, but Quinn is like, I feel like, all right, here's my deal with Quinn. I feel like he's playing like a caricature of himself in the DR, and it's like super annoying. Like, it's not genuine.
Okay.
And so, like, for me, it's just like I can't stand it. Like, like, he's a great villain. I'll give it. He's a great hateable character, but like I cannot cheer for him. Like, I just can't. I can't.
You're not meant to. He's like he's kind of like more like a heel pro wrestler.
Yeah,
It's kind of the vibe I get with Quinn. You're supposed to boo him, but you're supposed to be entertained by his antics.
right.
In all those things, he kind of got that vibe, and I think that Quinn has a hard road to win. I think he could win, but he might be somebody you want to drag along if you're in an alliance with him, because you feel like you're more likable, more likely to win at the end. He'll have all this baggage of being in too many alliances or whatever. But where were we going with this with Quinn?
Well, I just think, like, of the Pentagon Alliance, like, I feel like the smartest member of that alliance is Chelsea. And
Chelsea is the smartest member of that alliance. And then, yeah, agreed. But they got blindsided here tonight. And then there's also the collective, right? Which is like what Joseph is so sad about.
Right. Resistance is futile.
Yeah. He broke up the collective here.
Right. Who's the Borg Queen? It's got to be Brooklyn, right?
It's Chelsea or Brooklyn.
Right.
Take your pick. I think that, but they're gonna be shaken here. Like, okay, so does the Pentagon now replace Cedric without a new fifth member?
Well, I do feel like now that Quinn blew like the cover on that, like, and now that the other side has the power,
this is gonna come out.
It's gonna come out. Yeah,
and then Quinn's gonna be sort of he'll betray Cam and all them.
Well, he's already said that. Basically, he's like, I don't even really want to be with them. I want to be with Chemo and Takor. Like, that's what he said.
Well, do Chemo and Takor want to be with Quinn?
I don't think they need him.
I think they know they don't need him, and I think like this whole thing where he tells them about the Pentagon backfires. But could Quinn have played that any differently?
Don't say it.
Don't tell them at all.
No.
But if it comes out, is it any better?
Well, he definitely should have done it before this vote. Like, he should have. What a good Big Brother player does, and it's super frustrating to the viewer, but is make Takor and Chemo feel like you're in my alliance with the collective to the end. Like that. Like, that's what he should have done. But he did the opposite. He goes, no, screw the collective. We are the three that are going to matter. We're just going to ride this wave of the collective until we get later. But then we're going to be down in numbers. So it doesn't make any sense when you kind of think about it. So you need to get collective members out then before we get to the five. Basically, we need to get to the 5 with 3 of us.
How many people are in the collective? Is it like 8?
I think it was like 8. Yeah, it was a lot.
There's a lot of people. It's like
it was 5. It was the Pentagon plus Chemo, Joseph, and Takor. So 8.
That's a big alliance for a house of what now? 7. Well, coming into tonight, it was like 13 people, right?
Right. And there's too many people on the block, and there's too much going on with people vetoes and people getting saved. And so to trust an 8-person alliance is kind of insane.
An 8-person alliance where 3 people have to be on the block.
Yeah.
Only one of you could be the HOH. So like I think they had to take out Cedric here. I think like it makes complete sense. You
Yeah.
know, I think that it adds to the drama of this season. If it had been Cam or somebody less profile than Cedric, I think it wouldn't have had quite the impact it has here. Where Cedric's a pre-jury boot. Thought this guy was going to go deep into the season.
Yeah.
I thought, he was, he won the HOH previously, but it all blows up here because of Tucker, and who's been compared to Zach Rance, and some other past players of being sort of a disruptor, an agitator, an instigator. What is this power again? What is the instigator power?
I don't think. Okay, it sounds like a burden, not a power.
I was trying to follow it all, but it was like
basically like they get tasks from America, like to go disrupt the house. Like that's kind of, like that seems like it sucks. Like why would you wouldn't want that if you were a Big Brother player? Unless I get a reward. If I get immunity, then I'll do it.
Have they done that before where like a player goes in just to sabotage things?
Well, they've had America's player. They've done certain things like that where it's like, yeah, like when Eric was America's player, he had certain tasks that he had to do where he had to like change his vote based off what America wanted, or he had to like lie about what he actually wanted to do because America wanted him to do something different. It's like that kind of stuff happened on his season.
So America can tell this player who gets this power, or is it a curse?
I think it's more of a curse. I don't think this is good. I don't think this is an advantage. I think you want to give this to a player that I really hope they give it to someone like Joseph or Rabina or like just someone kind of like that's like not on the show a lot right now because they need it. Like they, some of those players need that profile.
Are they gonna understand that when they try to not available for my location? But all I want to see just how to vote for this instigator role. Starting Thursday night. Okay, so the elected house guests will. Sorry, what is this power? Okay. The AI instigator power has to understand one thing I've learned.
Chaos in the house using the AI avatars.
Oh yeah, so the Joseph avatar will come on and say something.
He'll be like, "Okay, so Joseph knows about the collective. Okay, so I'm gonna make Joseph say, "Hey guys, hey housemates. So I've been in the collective for 2 weeks, or something, and you just mess with the house that way." Like, is that what you're gonna do?
No, it can't be. So the instigator means you can choose which avatars come on and say what they say.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So okay, let's say you're Tucker.
Yeah.
What do you do with this power? So you say, okay, like an avatar comes on and it's who's Tucker go?
Well, he's gonna choose Quinn.
Okay, so Quinn comes on and Quinn says, "I'm a big doofus" or something like that.
Yeah.
Can they do that?
He comes on as Quinn and he goes, "So, I'm actually a cop," or something. I don't know.
That was some interesting twists, I guess you could pull off with that. Like strategically, I'm not quite sure how to use this power, and I don't know if the producers know how to use this power either. Like, what exactly is the intent here? If you could control these holograms, they can come on at random times. Like, I would probably mess with Angela mostly with it, as well. Just
she will believe it. It's real.
Yeah,
that's not me. I didn't say that.
Angela, my memory's been erased. And you say, like, I know you think this isn't me, but it is me from the future.
Do you know what? Okay, so Amanda made a really good point about the AI, like deepfake thing or whatever. What they should have done from the beginning was make the ceremony like that with the way they did it this week with Angela, but every week it was like the AI comes up and does the noms no matter what, right? So when the deepfake came, everyone would question whether it was real or not.
That's a better idea.
That would have been way better.
But instead, they made it this power that was optional to use. You didn't have to use it.
Yeah, no, but it would have been way cooler if like Ainsley deepfaked the AI each time.
Like every time, like, so if it was normal nominations, like even though the HOH is present, somehow their hologram
hologram still does it.
Well, the deep fake, yes, you're right. The whole bit, if you actually wanted to be sort of like this big mystery, this big surprise, then yes, then it would have had way more impact. But that's not quite
How
what
does
we got here. They
how
even
does
made Quinn vote tonight, Jeff. They made Quinn go in and vote,
Yeah.
even though everybody knew it was him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
What
was
a
that?
waste
It was
And then the vote would have been closer had he had his vote. It kind like I loved it so much because it's so backfired on Quinn this week.
right.
Like it
But
could
he's so
not have.
cocky about
Yeah.
Tucker.
Oh, he could not have backfired more on him this week. It was delicious to watch. The whole and I don't even think he cared all that much about Cedric. It was just the way he was controlling the house. But he cared about the numbers. He cared.
Yeah, he
he's
didn't like losing Cedric, not you're right, not for personal reasons. It
Not
wasn't
because he actually wants to go long in the game with him, but it's because he in his mind, like Brooklyn, we're just gonna get Tucker out. We're coming after you week after week, and we have the numbers and we have the people, and you're the number one target. It's like I don't think that might not last.
Like in the last few years, the majority alliances, and I guess in this case it's the collective and or the Pentagon, have gotten in their way. Like they would have gotten out Rubina tonight. Therefore,
Yes.
weakening Tucker, therefore weakening the minority sort of
Yes.
side of the house.
Yes.
That's instead it's a flip here where they actually get what they want out here. They get Cedric out.
Right.
Therefore, this massive comp alliance member they had on that side. And now it's up to who to win the power. Cam. I guess.
Yeah. Cam. Well, for physical and for mental, it's probably Quinn.
Right.
And
so I guess throw in Brooklyn and
when Chelsea won an
Chelsea.
HOH. So yeah, and she won.
Yeah,
So,
and they would have got their way here. But so how angry do you think they'll be, or do you think they'll actually be apologetic? We saw that they were going like
who's going to be angry?
Let it be the wall, like the Pentagon side.
Yeah, probably pretty pissed off. Yeah, it's gonna be great to watch like the fallout because they didn't see it coming and they thought they were in control of the whole house. So every time that happens,
the wall comp was going to be for HOH.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, of those 4 people, I think only Quinn has a great chance of winning that.
Short guy.
So light. Yeah, he's so light and he's short. Cam has no chance of winning that. He's got way too much muscle. So maybe the girls, maybe Chelsea could win it or Brooklyn. I don't know how good they are at endurance. But I'll take the field. I'll take the field over that alliance.
Leah's not likely to have the endurance for this.
Mackenzie though. Mackenzie's pretty fit.
Mackenzie's too tall, I think.
She is tall. Rubina is the perfect person to win it. Rubina is the exact type of person
if she's got like that
4'9",
the stamina, if she like the endurance there, because your muscles get real strained leaning off that wall, right? Like your hands and your legs and everything. But the shorter you are, the lower your center of gravity is, the less stress that is on you. Compared to someone like Cam, who's way bigger. So of the people who would probably fit that, you could even see like someone like Brooklyn come out of nowhere and win this.
I could see it, but Brooklyn's pretty tall too.
Yeah, exactly. I just think like I think it favors a woman. Do we have like the stats on Big Brother wall comps? Stats like wall comps, Past Houseget, Reddit. The wall. It's an enduring comp. I think we've looked this up before, haven't we? Number of competitions, HOH, reentry. Sorry, I've gone on a tangent here. But anyway, I kind of wish they would have started that tonight. I feel like they waste too much time on that strategy, too much time on, there wasn't this interview tonight was too quick. They had to get in this instigator bit. Oh, Jeff's gone. Maybe that's why he was being so quiet. Computer shut off. Be right back. Oh, and now I'm all here by myself. Okay, well now I have time to look up the stats here on the wall comp. Throw a question in the chat if you want to know what I think about something on tonight's episode or in this whole week. Could be something. Jeff Mader not with us anymore. It's hard when you're by yourself. Keep going here. I am kind of sad that Cedric's gone. In some sense, I liked him on the show. I liked when Julie said he had class tonight. I think he does. I think he was kind of a cool guy, but it had to be. He had to go, and that's how the cookie crumbles in the Big Brother 26 house. That's right. That's how it goes. You think I'd be better at this by myself, but it's hard when you just got to talk to yourself. I'm even being repetitive by talking to myself. I know what I mean. If you follow. Jeez. It'd be better if Jeff came back. Really. Make this podcast a lot easier. Big Brother 26, everybody. Foster loses Cedric as a pick tonight, but picked up by Foster. He also has Joseph, who was his leader pick, the video store clerk from Tampa Bay, Joey Rodriguez, we call him. And maybe he'll be the dark horse going into the stretch here for Team Foster. I still have Cam and Chelsea. Oh, thank God.
I'm back.
You're back. That was hard.
Oh, I bet. My computer just went black, just turned right off.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to do this without a conversation to bounce back and forth. I can't have the ball the whole time. I don't have a monologue prepared.
Just bouncing that ball.
Bouncing that ball.
What were we talking about?
The wall.
The wall.
I don't know. I was trying to find stats. It was hard to.
Who's won the wall?
So far, a woman has won this competition the most in 10 seasons.
And usually probably a short woman.
Taylor is the first African American outcast to win the wall in U.S. civilian franchise. The horizontal version premiere during Big Brother 25 is the first time the competition was not used as an HOH competition. Okay, so but it is back as an HOH competition this season. Danny Briones was the first one to ever win it in. Is it? No, it can't be. 2 separate seasons. Oh,
Danny.
Yeah,
Danny won it. So Evil Dick's daughter.
Danny Briones. Is that?
I believe that.
Donato. Yeah.
Donato. Yeah. So Evil Dick's daughter won it twice.
She's the one. Yeah, she's the one to win it in two separate.
Because she came back with her dad in another season or whatever, and then he left and all.
Yeah. So this definitely favors women. Although James, won it once. He was, he's one of the guys to win it. Who are some of the other guys?
Yeah, he's short, right? Like Asian James, right, from the South.
Yeah. Jason Dent from Big Brother 19. Who's that?
I don't even remember a Jason.
He was the guy with the cowboy hat. He was like the rodeo clown.
Yeah, the gay guy. Was he the gay guy?
I don't think he was gay. I think he was just a rodeo clown.
Oh, it's just the rodeo clown guy. Oh, I thought it was the guy that
he broke like Christmas's ankle.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Bledsoe and Big Brother. Oh, that's a woman. Sam. Cody Calafiore won it in Big Brother 20 or 16.
Okay.
Jared won it last year.
Oh my God, Nicole couldn't win that one.
Nicole's never won it, actually, according to this. Jared won this? How did Jared win this?
So maybe Cam has a chance because similar builds.
Yeah, that's a little surprising that Nicole did win it. Nicole won it in Big Brother 18.
Oh.
Sorry,
guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Derek X won it once.
Oh, Derek. Yeah. See, like you want to be like thin, skinny, muscular.
Omarosa
so
won it.
McKenzie.
Carson Kressley won it. The queer eye for the straight guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it's an endurance competition. You want to be slender or muscular, but not too muscular.
No. You want to be slender.
Yeah.
Slender and like thin and skinny.
I'm trying to remember what the circumstances of Jared's win were last year, but I can't really remember it now. But whatever.
I think it was thrown to him, kind of thing.
Might have been.
Yeah.
It could have been, or at least partly. Yeah. So based on that, back to the season's cast. Well, Cedric would have been a good pick for this tonight, but I feel like with him out of the running, he's not going to win it, of course. Cam probably not. Quinn, okay, yes.
My money's
Mackenzie's
on
a
Mackenzie. I'm going. I think
Mackenzie's a possibility. Even I could even see someone like Decor winning it. You don't know.
No,
Well,
she's a
probably not.
bookmaker. She's not winning that.
Leah and Decor are probably not.
No.
Brooklyn is a possibility.
Chemo, no chance.
Joseph, no chance. I can't see Joseph winning this.
Joseph's pretty short, so that's the only way he could win it. But yeah, probably not.
I just don't see him motivated enough to win this. Rabina, sure. We talked about.
Tucker's a psycho. He'll win it.
Tucker,
which he is. So if I could see Tucker just holding on for dear life and just willing his way through this comp.
If he wins, what does he do this week? Can he be the HOH and the instigator?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. He puts Quinn on the block for sure, 100%. He probably puts Quinn, Brooklyn, Cam. That's probably if he finds out about that alliance, which he probably will, especially if he gets power. That's probably his 3. And then you have Chelsea as a Renom.
Oh, they'll hate it. They will not react well to that, Jeff.
No, they will not.
There will be a revolution.
Happens. Brooklyn is coming across so self-entitled on the show.
Yeah.
Like as if she's so smart and she knows how to play the game and but really I just don't buy it. I do not think she's that smart and that good at manipulating people. Like Quinn, I can buy it. Cam is she's just chilling. Chelsea's smart. I will give her. She's very smart.
Chelsea's smart.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib.
Yeah, I think Cam's mostly a number. I think he just kind of goes along with where the wind's blowing.
Yeah,
that seems to be Cam's game. I don't think he has any strong loyalty.
Do you think he'll ever go screw the Pentagon? I'm going with Tucker because originally he was going to stick with Tucker.
Cam, I think at this point he's probably going to do what Brooklyn tells him to do. Largely, that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of I'm eager to see what the HOH competition is. I'm if or who wins it, I guess more specifically. Tucker, I think, is an exciting member of this cast in particular, and he'd be fun to see empower more. But because he's been burning so bright and so hot. But if he can actually if he actually gets power for this next week, that could be interesting. If he doesn't, if Quinn somehow is now in power, that's also interesting, but could be sort of like the end of this story. Where Quinn vanquishes Tucker, and he told us in the diary room this week, Jeff, that, if I don't get you on the block this week, I'll put you on the block next week or the week after that. Eventually I'll get you out because I'm controlling the numbers. I have the collective. I have the Pentagon. It doesn't matter, but maybe it does. Maybe this is all flipped on Quinn.
Dave, tonight's episode changed that.
It changed it.
I truly believe that it changed it tonight. That I don't see Quinn controlling as many people as he believes he's controlling. I think it's a bit of a fugazi, that's why everybody was sitting back and they were just a lot of them was just placating him until the point where they could make a move, and then they did. They made Mackenzie, Leah, Chemo, and T-Core. Those 4 are a huge voting block that little Pentagon completely discounted in a way. They kind of.
But can those 4 you just named keep working together moving forward?
Well, they don't need to. They just don't need that's the thing.
But don't they? I think they kind of do now because at least for a couple weeks, because I think coming out of this vote and the blind side here on Cedric is that they have to know that the Pentagon side, the collective side, more the Pentagon side, is going to be sort of upset about this. They're going to feel vulnerable. They might even want revenge. And
so what's more important to them, getting Tucker out or getting revenge?
Well, it could be either. You could end up on the block next to Tucker.
I was going to end up there anyway, wasn't I? Because I wasn't in your alliance.
Well, I guess historically what you see also is the people who aren't in that pretty popular person alliance, the Brooklyn alliance here, that they tend to, even if they do a blindside like this, they tend to kind of cower back to, well, you're the we really want to still be in with you. So the
But
question is,
they aren't the pretty person alliance.
not quite, because Quinn's in it. But
Well,
it's
no, because like you have Mackenzie and Leah, and like they were supposed to be like the pretty person alliance at the beginning, you know.
somehow they were not. They were too pretty to be in the.
Well,
pretty
Matt
person
got
alliance.
taken out. Like Matt is the quintessential pretty person alliance person.
That's all
Yeah.
because of what Angela did.
No, he would regardless of that, it would have been him with Cam and the two girls. Like that would have been the normal pretty person alliance.
But
You
that
know
all
what I
got
mean?
blown up. So
That
then
all
it
got
became
blown
this other. Then it became this other alliance, which then I started to hate. So
Right.
then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with this new thing. But now I'm confused if like, yeah, like what will Chemo and Takor do from here? Will they actually control a side? Will they be able to rally numbers like Mackenzie long term or not?
They're gonna play the middle. They're gonna play the middle and let the two sides go at each other. Because here's the thing: is like they're not a threat to like anyone's game right now. Like, I mean, yeah, they turned on those vote, but
But they're working actively with Tucker, who was supposed to be the House target.
well, they know they voted with Tucker on this vote,
That's
but they also voted
strong.
against them on the last vote. So like,
did they still have credibility? Like, I guess
with
plausible.
who? With Quinn? Like this is the thing. Like, why does what Quinn or Brooklyn say have to go?
Because you don't want to be targeted.
Okay, that's only matters if you win HOH. Like that's the thing is like in Big Brother, you do need to like take shots, and you have to lay in your bed. That's what happened tonight. Cedric took a shot where he didn't handle the Tucker move well, where he wanted to go after Quinn, which I think Cedric kind of would have went after Quinn, but he just didn't want to do it that week or that moment. And then Tucker forced his hand, and he was like, "Well, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. It's my HOH." Da 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 da. Right. And then the thing is, it backfired on him. Like we're seeing lots of that going on right now. Everything's backfiring. Like Quinn had the deep fake HOH. He controlled the whole week. And guess what? The guy in his number one alliance went home, because they wanted to use him as a pawn, which is the stupidest thing you can do when you're like controlling the HOH. Like, it made no sense for Quinn to do that. He did not need to put Cedric on the block at all.
I think they were too cocky here. They were overconfident in their abilities.
Yes.
They're like, okay, I'll put you up there, Cedric, and then, you'll win the comps, or and he was a good competitor, but it doesn't mean you necessarily will. And so the risk is too much. Like,
he lost two competitions. He lost that cross the light bridge thing, and it was pretty close, but Tucker beat him pretty well. And then
he wasn't that close tonight.
And then tonight, no, the two girls would have beat him. Rubina would have beat him as well.
I thought on TV Rubina did win. I had to rewind it to understand the Mackenzie.
Well, they weren't. They were only showing Rubina on the feed, and then everyone cheered because I guess the audience hits a different.
They could see, the Mackenzie. Like Mackenzie started after Rubina. Rubina only had one ball left, and in the time it took Rubina to get two balls and throw one, she misses on the first one. The second ball she hits. Somehow Mackenzie had knocked all five down. Like she must have done it. Like she was like super fast. And
Mackenzie's like a pretty good athlete, and like Rubina had good touch to get the balls up, but then she couldn't get that. Like she didn't
have that part of it. Yeah, but she was able to get like a little bit of a head start on Mackenzie because she had the setup part. It was kind of a good challenge in that way.
It was. I'm really impressed that these challenges have not been like super favorable to the guys.
Yeah.
Like actually tonight's challenge was not favorable to the guys at all. And that's the way it should be. They should be parlor games. They shouldn't matter how strong you are, how fast you can run. Like those two things shouldn't matter to me.
It is interesting too that like of the first four people evicted here, three of them are guys. And yet it's not like about the women alliance getting out the guys. No. It just is how this is kind of played out.
Oh right? God. I won't be
surprised. That could become the narrative.
In 2 weeks. Oh, look around.
It's all some girls. Strong women.
We need a girl winner. It's like, what? No.
Just play the game. Just play the game.
Stop doing this. Stop making it about your identity. Doesn't matter.
On it.
Yeah, stop fixating on it. It does not matter.
But it's interesting that the three guys are out here in the.
It is interesting.
And Lisa's the one they lost, who they didn't like anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Angela's probably the other one they would like to lose if they could. But,
Right.
she keeps winning HOH
Yeah.
and whatever here. She had quite the week here in the sense that she didn't have to, she had no blood on her hands. She had safety. She maybe is in an alliance, I guess, or something. And maybe her image is cleaned up a bit, from where it was. So okay, Angela's stock goes up. I thought it was interesting, that I guess the only one who I think I would be disappointed at this point if they won is probably Joseph.
Won the what? The game?
Yeah.
Why? Why
Because
Joseph?
Joseph, I just think he would be like, oh, Joseph won the game. How exciting. I don't think that would be like a true statement.
Right.
It'd be
I
like,
don't know, yeah.
oh, Joseph won the game. Unless like something amazing happens with him on the show from here
Right.
till then.
And
But
I don't believe there hasn't really been any evidence that that's what's going to happen.
If you just like took me to like, the 90-day mark here and said, well, guess what? Joseph won. I'd be like, oh, well, that's not what I would have predicted or expected, or been excited about. But the rest of them, I would say, yeah, I don't feel that way. I feel like this is, I'm not, well, maybe not Quinn. I don't want Quinn to win. Really, he'd be a worthy winner, I guess, in some sense. But like,
Well, if he accomplished it, then he's done something very well. Because I just don't. I think he's dug himself such.
It's hard to talk about the other comment. I think like him and Tucker are on different trajectories, but they're kind of basically headed in the same place, which is right into the sun. Or like,
well, I feel, see, I think as a viewer, and I think most viewers probably feel this way. It's like Tucker said it tonight. He's like, I don't care, I got nothing to lose, so I might as well try and win games, and you guys all want me out anyway, whatever. Whereas Quinn is like, if something goes wrong for Quinn, it's like, no, how does this happen to me? I have everything under control, and you know what I mean? Like it's like he is like the supervillain, and Tucker is like the superhero. And it's kind of like how I view it. I think
kind of like both supervillains in my mind. Like
Yeah.
they're just like twirling these mustaches. One in Quinn's case that seems to be actually growing in, or somewhat there, so he can twirl it.
Right.
I guess or who else would I compare Tucker to? He's almost like a 90s attitude era wrestler.
Right.
It's
Right.
like
He's like
really
a Hardy Boy.
maybe a Hardy Boy.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite. Maybe like more like a Triple H kind of a character, or something along those lines. It's kind of, he's like, look what I got. He got something behind my ear. He likes to play to the camera. You could see him just dropping promos in like the WWF in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of got that whole thing. And as long as he's here, great. Like, how many more weeks till you go to jury? I can't even remember.
I hope it's just like one more, and then
the first juror last season started at who was the first at day 72, and we're only at day 31, so we still have another 40 days until we start getting to the jurors, I guess, assuming they're doing the same amount of days again. 40 more days. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Was it like late last year? Day 72. And it ended on day 100. Okay. All right. Well, anything else you got to say about this season, Jeff?
No, you know what?
Or this week?
I was happy. I was happy that this happened tonight. I was finally. I'm like, I can watch the rest of the season now, I think, because if it had gone the way I was worried it was going to go, or like Rubino went home tonight, like the classic way of everything you say that normally goes, then I probably would have checked out in a few weeks. But you know what I mean? But now, now I'm way more interested. Like, this had to happen for the show.
No, yeah. Just like last week, we said this had to happen for the show for Kenny. Now this had to happen here for the Cedric backstab, the blind side. It's all good, dog. It's all love, and it's how it had to go this week. So yeah, curious to see how this will play out. We'll be back in next week to talk about I guess week 5 and who gets voted out then. And check out our other stuff here on the channel, including the Mary Mater Marvel Society, where we cover the MCU properties like the Deadpool and Wolverine movie that just came out. We're also part of the United Federation of Podcasts. Check out Sunday. I'll be on with my son Eamon Mater on Eamon on Track, talking about the Bruce Springsteen album, which we'll also we're doing Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band live in New York City from 2001.
Oh, nice.
Live album. It will also be Jeff's birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday, Jeff, or early birthday to you.
Why did you choose that Springsteen album?
Because there's a version of like Atlantic City on that album that I think is like the best version.
I think is it the Madison Square Garden one?
Yeah.
The 10th Avenue Freeze Out on that album is amazing.
Yeah, I haven't gone into that one.
Dude, it's like my favorite part. That's like, you gotta listen to that. That's the best part.
Yeah, there's a lot of good songs on it, and like what I like about Springsteen too is like he does the same songs different, and all these different versions. So it's we're gonna see how it plays out. So yeah, talking to Eamon about that on Sunday, and our Star Trek podcast, Live Long and podcast, and all the great stuff we have here on the channel. Thanks for being with us tonight, and Jeff. All I gotta say is, you got class, kid.
You got class, kid.
All right.
See you next time.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.